Assad, where he calls the notion that he staged a chemical attack against his own people a 100% fabrication. And he talked about those pictures we've all seen of dozens of children dead. He said, how do we even know that those children are dead? Wonder if I can get your reaction to that interview, sir.
Well, I think that he's proving that not only is he a murderer, he's also a liar. There's no doubt in anybody's mind, the intelligence tells us nearly 100% accurately that he was behind the gas attacks. It's not the first time he's done it against his own people. And that is why future Syria, he cannot be part of a future Syria. He has to go, and the sooner the better.
On overall policy from the president, Congressman, we've seen a breathtaking, stunning reversal of course in the last 24 hours on not one thing, not two things, more than three things. We've heard him say now that China is no longer a currency manipulator like he had said they were throughout the campaign. He reversed course on Fed Chair Janet Yellen. He reversed course on this Export-Import Bank. I mean, he's changing his view on China as it comes to dealing with North Korea. Here's how political writer Mike Allen of Axios topped his note this morning. Operation Normal achieved supremacy yesterday, and a new phase of Trump's presidency begins. Do you like what you're seeing?
Well, you get the feeling that this administration or the president's positions on things is sort of fly by the seat of your pants. It doesn't seem to be one cohesive strategy. One day it's this, the next day it's something else, the next day he corrects himself with something else. Now, if he's getting a better grasp of it, I'm happy about it. But we can't just lurch back and forth. NATO was obsolete, supposedly, then it's not obsolete. Russia's our friend, now Russia's our enemy. It's sort of like making this up as you go along. I mean, I hope he understands the fact that Russia's not our friend.
But and I understand you wanting some constancy, as it were, but you seem to like where he's ended up on Russia. You seem to like where he's ended up on NATO. Should he get credit for having changes in your mind to the positive?
Well, but he's not ending up calling for a special prosecutor or a special commission. If there are still lingering questions, and there are, about the ties of the Trump campaign to the Russians, and there's only one way to find out the truth, and that's to have an independent commission, independent of Congress, so there's no political influence. That's really what we need to do. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy that he now understands the fact that Putin's not our friend. Putin's a pretty bad guy. And happy that he understands the fact that Assad is a bad guy, and that our NATO alliance is very important. It was always very important since the end of World War II. But what we need is really more consistency, not just, you see children choking, as horrific as that is, and that changes your policy. Wow. In fact, let me just say that I really believe that one of the reasons Assad felt emboldened to have the gas attack was that the administration came out with a statement that we were no longer making Assad a priority in terms of getting rid of him, that we would concentrate on al-Qaeda and we didn't care about Assad. And I think that emboldened Assad to think that we would look the other way, no matter how horrific.
So bottom line, Congressman, it sounds like you're not encouraged by the shifts, the dramatic shifts this White House has made. Got 30 seconds left. Is that the right read?
Well, I think time will tell. If it's a constant shift, look, he's got to come to Congress. The War Powers Act has started 60 days to come to Congress. He cannot use the old AUMF to just do whatever he wants. We want to know what his strategy is, and we want him to come to Congress. And I think that's the bottom line. We don't have laws by fiat from the president. The president got to come to Congress, and right now we just don't know where he stands. So if it's a change of attitude, then I welcome it. But you just don't know, because one day it's one thing and the next day it's another thing.
All right, Congressman Eliot Engel of New York, great to have you with us, sir. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, the White House